Good morning from Oakville. Today, we're talking real estate and home design. We're talking about staging your home before you sell, and we're talking about decorating your home once you buy a new house. Because maybe you're like me. Maybe you just bought a new home and you have no idea how to place your furniture so it looks good and so it's functional. Or maybe you're thinking about selling your home. It is the spring, technically, and a lot of people sell their homes at this time of year. So do you need to stage your home to make it look the best for buyer potential? We think so, and that is where we meet Krista. Krista is the home enthusiast. You decorate and you stage homes. Why is it important for people to stage their home before they sell?
It's important to stage because your home is now a product on the market, and you're going to be competitive against lots of other homes. And we want every room to look its best. We want to show off the great features in your home, and we want to minimize the features that maybe aren't as good. We want to have the furniture placed perfectly. We want to have art done so when the photographer comes in to do professional photos, your home is going to look great in person for showings and open houses, and also online, because we all know that's the first place we actually look for a home. The pictures are this big. Homes can easily look cluttered, even if they're not in person, but so many people go, no, 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 yes, because your home is staged and looking its best.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, what about like the personal touches of staging? And I've always kind of been told when I'm selling a house to get rid of everything that screams you. You want to make it look as open, as basic as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I would say you want to make it look as neutral as possible because, again, you're trying to attract the most amount of buyers into your home. So you want to make it look neutral. We always say to paint your walls a neutral color, use neutral furniture as much as possible. Of course, there can be pops of color and that kind of thing to make it interesting. But yes, things like family photo gallery walls, you know, all the little, you know, your travel tchotchkes and all that kind of stuff, that can definitely come down because, again, when we have buyers come into your home, we want them to start envisioning themselves in your home. It's no longer your home when you're selling your home, and the more you can get your head around that, the better.
Do people fight you on it sometimes?
They do. I think at the end of the day, when we finally get to the finished product, they get it. A lot of people are a little bit skeptical first about staging. They think I'm going to come in and really insult them. That's not why I'm there. I'm there to get you the most amount of money for your home and have it on the market for the shortest period of time. So I'm there working with the real estate agent on a team to do that as quickly as possible. So usually when I do that explanation and say I'm here to help,
they get it.
But it's your choice at the end of the day, then people relax a little bit.
Now, when you're hiring a stager to come into your home, like if you come in and there's certain key pieces that you can keep, for example, like this whole setting that I have here is very neutral, right? It doesn't have a lot of color, a lot of pizzazz, but like let's pretend I had like a blue and yellow couch here. Would you potentially move that out and move something else in just for the meantime?
Potentially, like a couch is something that you can also really make neutral. So with couches that are either a little outdated or really bright in color, we can really neutralize it with neutral pillows and a neutral throw. And then I also, if it's something like blue and yellow, I'd maybe put a blue and yellow piece of art to complement it and work with it. And again, it always depends on the staging budget. A lot of times I try to work with the furniture if possible.
So there's a lot of tricks of the trade. So it doesn't have to blow your budget, because that's always what I think too. I'm like, do I need a stager? It's going to be really expensive. But that's really interesting to know.
Yeah, I can work with any budget. A lot of times I can do a consult and just tell you certain things to do. A lot of times we can work with the furniture and just kind of pizzazz it up.
I love it.
And then if needed, we can also bring in furniture. But yeah, that's where it starts getting a bit pricier.
Okay, well, coming up, we're going to be talking about some of the consult tips that she can give us if we're going to be doing our own staging. So much more coming up from Oakville on Morning Live. Okay, now we're breaking it down to do-it-yourself staging versus pro staging. Now, Krista has been joining us, and Krista, I know that sometimes you offer a consult and you let people know what they can do to change their home.
That's right.
What's really the difference? Like, what are we getting out of you coming into our homes versus us doing it ourselves?
Right. So I'm walking in and looking at your home from an objective point of view, and I'm taking away or suggesting you take away anything that is looking like clutter or that I know is not going to look good to the average buyer. And then when I come back to stage, I'm doing things like hanging a piece of art at the right height. So a lot of people are hanging art either too high or too low, or you know, they have area rugs that are usually too small. So with professional staging, you're just getting all the pro design tips to go into your home.
And it's even the little things like styling a couch, for example. So we're going to do a little bit of a DIY versus professional staging. We've got all of the stuff that we need. So we'll just go ahead and we'll take what we think we need for our professional look and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Now I'm going to pick first.
Okay.
Because I want the good stuff.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I'm going to take this blanket, I think. Roxy, you're in my way. Everybody meet Roxy. Everyone's met Roxy 1,000 times, but you're kind of in my way. Okay, you go ahead. You do your couch.
Okay, I'm doing this couch.
You do your couch. Yep. Okay, this couch. Go. Okay. Roxy, you're really not helping me out here.
Are you doing the staging chop? Make sure you do a staging chop.
Right here.
Good, good. I'm glad you did the staging chop. That's key. That's key.
Is that to make it look perfect?
Yeah.
Watch out, Roxy Roo. Okay. All right. Finished product. Wow.
Okay.
I see where I have failed. I still have a dog on my couch. Okay. What's the difference? What would you have done differently?
So I think for the size of the couch, just a little bit too many pillows.
Okay.
So I would maybe take these off. And then I would maybe have the blanket. The blanket's good, it goes with the art. So great colors and great color choice with here. But I'd maybe just split, I'd maybe just split up everything a little bit. So just to have the toss cushions on the other side of the throw. And then, yeah, I think it was great that you did the chop. The chop is key.
Well, and the pulling of the colors too, because that's what I was paying attention.
Yes.
And like you kind of take one key piece and then you accessorize from there.
That's right. So a lot of times in staging or even interior decorating, I go off of something like art. So you love this piece of art. So then we want to pull colors from this art to complement it and coordinate. So for green, I know you like green, we want to do a little gold. And we also obviously want to coordinate it with the couch as well. So these pillows all really go well with the art and the sofa and the rest of the room. You also did a really good job on your area rug color as well.
See, now the area rug was kind of basically what I got first. Like I based the whole room off of the area rug.
Which is perfect because you actually want to start with mostly neutral pieces.
Okay.
So look at your sofas. You did a great job. The ottoman, everything is very neutral. And then you bring in one pop, which is your art, and then you do your pops of colors around your art. And that's where you're going to get where it's not so many colors and so many patterns and it looks too busy. Okay,
well, speaking of that, that could be a very common mistake that people make when they're staging or decorating their home. We'll talk about that coming up. So much more coming up from Oakville with the Home Enthusiast, Krista. Back here with the Home Enthusiast, Krista, and we're talking about common mistakes that people make when it comes to decorating or staging your home. Now, the only thing that I've done in this little corner, because you told me you need a chair for that little corner, but I didn't know what to go for.
Yes.
The mirror, that's the only thing I've done. Did I hang it correctly?
You hung it perfect.
Okay.
So a lot of times people hang mirrors and art usually too high. The general rule is it should be about 3/4 of your height.
Okay.
So it should be, so when I'm looking at it, a lot of times this mirror would be too high.
Yeah.
So again, I'm looking at this and it's coming, I'm at average height, it's coming about 3/4.
Okay.
Now you can move it a little bit here or there, but that's the general rule.
So for staging purposes, the general height, you know, you're averaging, 5'10" human being or 5'8", 9" human being, right? Yeah. So you don't want to go necessarily, because some people are really petite, they're 5'2".
Sure.
They're not going to be hanging it way down here.
No, so generally you want to do, if you're an average height person, about 3/4 or about, I think it's 60 inches off the ground.
Okay, see, like, these are all the little tips and tricks that like the average human just does not know.
Yes.
Like you have to study for this and learn.
Yes.
And I'm slowly learning.
Or just do it by mistake and then you get better at it.
Yeah, I guess.
After like 500 houses, I'm like, I finally get it.
I know how to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, I have this empty bookshelf, but I want it to look functional but fun and pretty.
Sure. Okay. I'll do it.
Okay, so you're taking things that I already own because let's face it, some of us just do not have the budget when it comes to professionally staging our home. So it's nice to hire the professional to do the work for you, but then use things that you already have.
Actually, I love doing that. That's a styling service that I will go into people's homes. They already have great stuff. They just don't know how to use it.
That's me.
So I'll put it all in a pile together and then I'll disperse it throughout the home. And that's actually very fun for me because it's not my stuff, and it's fun to also learn, like, where's this picture from or what does this mean, and make it meaningful. Because staging, everything's neutral.
Yeah.
Interior decorating, it's personal.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I, come into play with Krista, is that I was looking for somebody who could come in and help me design my home, but keep it functional at the same time, because with 2 kids, I'm not going to be putting breakables and, fancy looking things at lower levels, because let's face it, that's just a bad idea. Oh, look at that. Lickety split, you've done it.
There we go.
So good.
There we go. I mean, this is cool. Like, this is good stuff. And you can see kind of, we have the silver and the gold and the silver. We have this all coming together. We have the blues.
You're mixing metals.
You're allowed to mix metals. Don't
now
be
you
shy.
Are.
Don't be shy about mixing metals.
And we talked about the perfect size for the area rug. Now, what about seating in this area? Because I know that we have a bookshelf here and we have 2 couches, but like the size of a chair.
Yeah. So you did a good job. This chair is fun and functional. Look at the back and how beautifully it sits into the corner.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, again, do the chop. A lot of times people do too big of chairs for corners.
Right.
So this is, as you can see, like this is perfect. The little table and the lamp, it makes it a nice cozy little reading nook. Again, little bit of mixed metals in here. But then you have your statement piece, which is your cool chair.
Cool.
This is good. And of course the mirror all ties in. So you did a good job of picking everything.
It's a very good little vignette.
It is.
Okay.
Perfect.
Coming up, some before and afters, what Krista is capable of doing compared to what I'm capable of doing. Lots more coming up on Morning Live. Okay, it is now time to showcase Krista's decorating skills by showing you the before and after. Now, you've already seen sneak peeks of the after, but Luke's gonna give you like a full wide of the room that she has put together for me. But first, I wanna show you the before. So Krista, take us through the before and talk to us about what's wrong with this room.
Okay, so first of all, when I first got here, the sectional I felt was in the wrong place because it's blocking the doorway. Some tables I think are in the wrong place as well. That table is a little bit big for that space. The chair is better where we have it now, away from the window, because we wanted to put a piece of the sectional there. Again, great area rug. The mirror, you could do something a little more pizzazz, a little bigger there. It's a very big wall. And again, this sectional piece is better on the other side.
Big wall.
And then again, the decluttering, just some decluttering from the cabinet, especially the behind the glass doors.
Okay, so I mean, you literally came in here for an hour and you stood in the doorway and you went, you've got a great space. It's cozy, it's warm, it's awesome. There's just a couple of things I want to tweak. And you took your hard-earned time and energy to figure out the furniture in this room, which was not easy because I wasn't willing to buy new furniture for the space. But to have a tiny little sectional in a huge room to try and make that work was very tricky.
Yes, so that's why we spent a lot of time moving it around. And sometimes you need to do that. Is actually just moving things around and seeing if it works. So I do use a tape measure first, so we don't have to move stuff around too much. But sometimes you just have to move stuff and live with it for a day or two and see if it works. And if it doesn't, rearrange it again.
Now, what about making the home functional when you do your home decorating?
So that depends on, for sure, age of kids, if you have pets and that kind of thing. I always say for materials, do like the performance-based materials for sofas, for area rugs, get things with a little bit of pattern in it. And, keep it simple for kids. Obviously, I have 2 young kids, so, I know you can't necessarily keep breakable things down on the coffee
this wouldn't work.
That wouldn't work.
No.
That wouldn't work. But you can
scale it down, kind of?
You can scale it down. Yes, for sure. And things like all these items except for this, none of these are breakable.
No.
And you can get different vases that aren't as breakable. So again, it's kind of mixing what is really important to you in your decorating style with how you live.
With personal touches.
Totally. Absolutely.
Like
and greenery, key.
Greenery is key.
Greenery is key.
Okay.
Greenery is key. The floor plant, I always bring for staging and interior decorating. I recommend floor plants.
Yeah.
And I recommend greenery, pops of greenery, whether it's live or fake.
Okay, so now when people want to hire you, what is the best way to get in touch with you?
So if you Google me, the Home Enthusiast, you'll find me, or I'm also on Instagram, _home_enthusiast.
Okay, we're going to have all of Krista's information on our website as well. Thank you so much for helping me make my home look beautiful and functional at the same time.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.